All right, apparently I'm doing more fundraising still. You know, I had a chance to go through your envelopes to get a chance to see where we're at, and I can't thank you enough for not only taking part in this event, but going above and beyond and giving us extra money. It means a lot. It took a lot of work to put this on. We got a great turnout. We can't thank you enough. We can't thank the speakers for coming out enough. All this money does go to outreach. It goes for spreading the word of liberty, and the more that we make, the better we are going to be able to spread that message to more people. To me, the message of the Libertarian Party runs much deeper than just taxation is theft. Sure, that could work in some districts, but for me, the selling of the Libertarian Party and what we believe in comes down to the idea that individuals deserve to be free from restraint of the state. And we need to take this message into the places where the people are feeling the most downtrodden, where they have the most force used against them, where they don't think they have an ally. At this point in time, there's so many people in downtrodden areas in this country who think that their only choice is to turn to the government, is the only force powerful enough to save them. Well, at the same time, the government is taking their homes, imprisoning them, killing them on the streets without any bit of a fine, any bit of a penalty. You don't even lose your job. We are cannon fodder for training. And we need to be the people that stand up against that, who can unite the idea that all rights matter, and the fact that every person deserves opportunity. The idea of libertarianism to me is the idea of what we should sell with America. It is the idea and the concept that every person is capable of achieving many great things as long as they're not impeded by the state. So for us to continue that message, we need to keep raising money, and we need to keep getting volunteers who want to try to take a message. If you feel that maybe you are a little bit outside of the norm in libertarian parties because you are more on civil rights or any other thing, don't think that doesn't mean that you are not a valuable asset to that party. We need communicators for everybody. Just somebody might be able to communicate really, really well to Republicans on certain issues, but they wouldn't be able to shake a stick at a Democrat. And then you have vice versa. You don't focus one side or the other, you focus on everybody. And everybody in this room has their own talents which they can use to promote the idea of liberty in this country. You just have to take the time, come with us, and we're going to do something amazing together. And on top of our own fundraising, I just want to reference on the side of the party and our duty to what we're trying to do here. On top of the state party, next year, Senator Laura Epke is going to be up for re-election. She has a chance to be an incumbent libertarian. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So not only are we looking at our state, but we're looking at the party on the whole, and we have an amazing legislator who is going to be able to have proof of what we do when we're in place. Someone that does practice off of sound principles, and Laura, we can't thank you enough for that. Thank you, Senator. So not only am I calling, this is a little bit of an early call, not only am I calling for your assistance here in Colorado, fundraising, volunteering, all of that stuff, I'm also asking you over the next year and a half to take a look over at Laura's side and consider giving your money to her when she needs it. And also, if anybody sometime in the fall of next year wants to take a road trip out to Nebraska, I say we go out and we knock some doors and we keep our libertarian senator in office. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we have another speaker. You've seen him before. I'm sure you'll love his enthusiasm and his knowledge. Austin Petersen, come on up again.
Hello, hello. How y'all doing? It's nice to see you. Great state of Colorado. I love Colorado. It's definitely one of my favorite states. I used to come here as a child, snow skiing all the time, and I love the music, the culture of Colorado. I love the people of Colorado. Now, tonight I want to have a discussion with you all. Now, you know, you've seen my reputation. You know, you've seen and heard my reputation. I can be a bit of a troublemaker, right? And the reason why sometimes is, of course, because if you don't agitate, you can't get the clothes clean, right? You don't think that the King of England, King George III, didn't think that George Washington was, a-hole? Of course. They were willing, the rebels, with which we are rebels, we're going to have to be a little agitant. And so I hope you don't mind tonight that I have some very personal discussions with you all, not just on some major macro topics of concern to the people of our nation and concern to our fellow citizens, but because this is a selected crowd, that I can have a conversation with you all that is perhaps a bit more internal, a bit more relevant to the people who are in this room. Is anybody here a snowflake? Is anybody here afraid of some dangerous conversations tonight?
No.
Is there anybody who's going to be... Yeah, is there anybody terrified? Are there any libertarian snowflakes in the house? Okay, good. Because I want to talk to you all about some of the things that are very personal, some things that are very political. But I hope that I don't offend anybody tonight, although if I were offending people, I'd probably get better ratings. Right? If I just pulled a Milo Yiannopoulos and came up here and said all kinds of wild things, then I'd really, I could be like Trump, I could get elected. But hey, listen, you may not like Trump, but the man won. And we'd better learn some lessons from Donald Trump because, when your enemy, or when your opponent, I shouldn't say enemy, when your opponent beats you, you need to smile, nod, and give him your gun. You need to show some humility in defeat. And we have been defeated time and time again. Perhaps it's time for us to show a bit of humility and to learn our lessons. Nobody likes to hear that. Nobody likes to hear that. Well, I've been humiliated. I've been defeated. My losses are public. There's C-SPAN video of me crying. Tears running down my face. Scared. Afraid. Terrified. It was a terrifying ordeal running for President of the United States. I lived every day in fear. I woke up every morning to vitriol and acid poured in my face that you just can't imagine. And then of course the ruthless was there. This experience has changed me. It's changed me greatly. So I hope to have a serious conversation with you all tonight. I'll tell some jokes, maybe some morbid jokes, but I want to talk to you all from the heart because I'm one of you. I'm of the earth of libertarianism. I cut my political teeth in the Libertarian Party. I've been around, behind the scenes, sharpening my katanas, learning the skills, the magic, the arts of libertarianism. Because libertarianism, liberty cannot be passively given. Liberty will never be given. It must be taken. We have to fight for our freedoms. But if we don't learn how to fight, if we eschew fighting, and if we do not understand the art of war, if we do not learn to adopt some of the tactics of the trappings of success, we can boo Trump all day long. But if you haven't paid attention, Donald Trump fought City Hall in the 1980s, and he was Hank Rearden. He built buildings in a place where they said nobody could build a building. And he went to war with City Hall. And Trump Tower stands today. Now we can criticize him for his crudeness, his policies, but how many people here have a building with their name on it? Right? So perhaps some humility in some respects so that we can learn. Now, before I get into the real tough stuff, I do want to get some plugs. So I started the Libertarian Republic News magazine in 2013 because I was working at these institutions in Washington, D.C. There was an armed coup at one of the nonprofits I was at, and it was a terrifying ordeal, and I thought to myself, hey, if these idiots in D.C. can run this multi-million-dollar institution in the ground, so can I. So I thought, well, hell, why not? I talk about capitalism all the time. I've been, having these cushy nonprofit jobs in Washington, D.C. It's time to actually put my principles into practice. And we all know Reason Magazine, the #1 libertarian news outlet. They're nonprofit, right? They're guaranteed a payday. So I said to myself, if these libertarian principles are as strong and powerful as we say they are, and the marketplace is as strong and powerful as we say they are, I will jump and hope the net appears. And I've had many setbacks on the road to success. I now have one of the most popular libertarian news magazines in the world. Yeah, I'm not saying that just to pat myself on the back, but what it does show is that libertarian ideas can not only be successful in the nonprofit realm, but our ideas can sell. Right? They call me a clickbait blogger. You make money to sell on websites than running a news website. I guarantee you'll stay up, you'll work 14-hour days, and you'll stay up late, terrified that you're going to make your next employee's paycheck. And the first time somebody tries to sue you because you misquoted them on some article, you'll sweat bullets. But I started the Libertarian Republic because I thought to myself, we need a biased but fair news organization, right, that admits its bias. And there was a public advocacy page that came out recently that rated the Libertarian Republic as one of the most fair but biased news sources in the right-wing or libertarian or conservative media sphere. So we're ranked very highly for our commitment to journalistic ethics and standards. So that's what I wanted to thank you. But we need that. Other ideologies have their own news networks. CNN represents the social democrats in many ways. Fox News, the conservatives. We as libertarians, we needed some credible news outlets that normal people, normies, muggles, right, the non-magic folk, could look at and say, hey, let's go to a news source that admits its bias, but is still credible. And that's why the Libertarian Republic exists. Of course, Liberty Viral is the more anarchic side, the more fun side of things. We've got the polished professional, Libertarian Republic, and we've got Liberty Viral, which is the more, trickster, silly fun. The Stonegate Institute, speaking of, another approach that I've taken is after my presidential campaign, I started a nonprofit institute. Actually, I started 3. I started the Stonegate Institute, which is a C4, which what it does is it goes and fights for liberty on a local level, and we train activists, and we go out to town councils, and we fight for people's rights where we think we can affect the outcome. We had great victory. Our good buddy Zach Garrettson blocked that medical marijuana in Florida. Then, of course, we had one of our bigger things that was still a good opportunity for us in Mount Airy, Maryland, where a city council was using zoning laws to block federal firearms license dealers from operating out of its home. So the Stonegate Institute is already out there moving and shaking, making a name for ourselves. And then, of course, Stonegate being sort of the nonprofit version of, from the ideological perspective of the Libertarian Republic, Liberty Viral, I started Loki Pack, which, if you guys don't know, Loki is the Norse god of mischief. I'm a mischievous being. And we did a fantastic project. We raised $10,000 for Gary Johnson during his presidential campaign, produced a commercial for him, and there's a lot of costs associated with compliance for these nonprofit institutions. It'll really blow your hair back. So we now have 3 dedicated nonprofit institutions, libertarian nonprofit institutions, which we need more of. And so now we have Libertarian Republic, Liberty Viral, Stonegate, Loki Pack, and my Freedom Report podcast. I don't know if you guys listen to it, but it has 1 million listeners a month. That's not all libertarians. That's not all libertarians. So again, I didn't get an intro, so I have to brag on myself. Sorry, guys. We'll get into the topical stuff here in just a moment. But when you're talking to 1 million people a month, and people are listening out there, that shows you that people are interested in these ideas. I took with the ninjutsu that I learned at Fox News, right, and I went and I applied those sorts of mass media style credentials to a libertarian news magazine, and so far so good. Yeah, at least not bankrupt. Anyways. Recent career moves. So it's amazing what you can accomplish in defeat. It's amazing the victories that you can snatch from the jaws of defeat. It's amazing the silver linings that exist in clouds. We as libertarians, we tend to be pessimists. But some of you might not know there's a guy by the name of Jim Rogers, and I think he talks about this concept of disaster capitalism. So whenever there's like a hurricane or something like that, they'll go in and they'll buy medical kits. Right? When BP was spilling oil into the Gulf, what was I doing? I was buying BP oil. Why? Because I knew that BP's stock would rise again. Opportunities can be found. Tragedies, never let tragedies go to waste. Which is what our opponents believe. It's not a principle, it's a tactic. And we've got to learn the difference between principles and tactics. And if we hold ourselves above the tactics of our opponents, we nice guys will finish last. I've dealt with a lot of bullies in my life. And I tell you one thing, the only way to beat a bully is to be the bully. To beat that bully. To to show him who's boss. Don't ever turn your back on a bully. Don't turn your back on the state. Now, for me, personally, silver linings everywhere. Wow, what a difference a year makes. 1 year ago was the Colorado Convention. You all disinvited me. But I came anyway. Yeah. That's because you can't play by the rules, ladies and gentlemen, because if you play by the rules that society or government institutions or political parties try to put down on you, to lay over your head, you will lose. Don't play by the rules. Never play by the rules. The rules are for the losers. The winners come in and break the rules and create Apple computers. It's only a small group of people that have ever changed things, and then that is how it will always be. Break the rules. Break the rules. Don't break the law, but break the rules. So my silver linings are that, Jiminy Christmas, my schedule is booked, lots of exciting things coming up. I got a few secrets here and there that I can't go into tonight, but I can tell you there are a lot of big things coming. I've had some setbacks, but I'm going to LA next week. I'm going to be on Dave Rubin's show. He was the guy who worked for the Young Turks, used to be a liberal, and now he's starting to lean more libertarian because he's been terrified by what we would now call the regressive left. You know how the right has the alt-right? Well, the left has the control left. Alt-right, control left, I know. You got it. Take that, put it on a bumper sticker.
That just happened.
All right? And so there are opportunities. Opportunities abound, ladies and gentlemen, for libertarian victories for us to push our ideas out. So I'll go to LA next week, do an interview with Dave Rubin, who defected from the Young Turks. You guys know the Young Turks? I love to watch it because it's horrible.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
Awful.
Oh, they're terrible. Right, but all the liberal tears that we got to drink on election night.
Was great.
It was delicious. I mean, they're crying, they're screaming, they're like, oh, we hate, well, this is because of racism. You know, like, the only good part about Trump winning was that the Democrats lost. But this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity because the Democrats are talking about buying guns. Now the Democrats are talking about limiting executive power. Where you been, Democrats? The anti-war Democrats emerge after 8 long years in hibernation. Suddenly we're concerned about the use of drones. Suddenly we're concerned about executive authority. Suddenly the Democrats are anti-war again. I don't trust them, but I'm still going to take this opportunity. I'm going to find this opportunity now to advance libertarian ideas. Now, I don't just advance these ideas, I live these ideas. Let me tell you why. I was flying to Detroit recently. I was going to go to Hillsdale. Oh man, those are my people up there in Hillsdale. They're a fantastic institution. They love libertarians up there. And I went to Detroit, and I'm sitting down. I'm flying Spirit Airlines because, you know, fiscal conservatism. And they had all these seats. There was plenty of open rows. They had exit rows that were totally open. And they told us, they said, nobody get up and move until after you guys are in the air. So I said, okay, well, but there's an exit row up there, and of course I'm sitting squinched against the window, and there's 2 people in the aisle seat, and they're going to sleep. So I know that if I have to get up and go to that exit row, I'm going to have to wake these 2 people up. So I'm sitting there and thinking to myself, damn it, I really want that exit row. I'm making my plan. So the stewardess says, okay, just wait until we get up in the air, we stabilize. So we get up in the air, we stabilize. The seatbelt sign is still on, mind you. Talking about breaking the rules. Seatbelt is still on, mind you. And so they're starting to go to sleep, and I say, excuse me, I'd like to get up, I'm going to go to the exit row. And the lady goes, I don't think the stewardesses are going to let you do that. And I said, the question isn't who is going to let me. The question is who's going to stop me. And she's like, oh, okay. Let me get out of this guy's way. You mean business. So back to Colorado. We have a checkered past, Colorado and I. What an honor. What a silver lining. Here I am now, being feted by you all. And I'm so grateful to you for that. Because sometimes I feel like a Coen Brothers movie. You don't get me the first time, but then you come back and you realize, oh brother, where art thou? That was a great film, right? You watch the Stossel debate again, and you said, God, he was such a jerk, but oh man, he made it interesting. Because I knew what my opportunity was. I knew that Gary was the front runner. I knew how powerful he was. I knew how presumptuous I was behaving. But without me, it would have been, the McAfee show out over here and Gary sailing to the nomination. I thought we liked competition, right? So I came in there and I was fading Gary the whole time so that he, had a fire under his butt, which I think politicians deserve, right? Yeah, thank you. But I'm really happy that our relationship has improved, Colorado, because one of the greatest states in the entire nation. I mean, I don't care for New Jersey, but I love Colorado, right? Some states are just better, okay? Yeah, Missouri is, well, obviously Missouri is the best, but no, I've always loved Colorado, and I'm so glad that this relationship is improving, because essentially all I was doing that was irritating, I think, some of the people in this room was kind of what I'm doing tonight, and what I was doing tonight is playing devil's advocate. I fear Kool-Aid drinkers, and I despise them. People who believe that something is true because it was written in a book, or because some authority figure said it. Hell no, not for me. I think for myself. I'm an individualist. We are the cult of individuals who must all think alike. We are free thinkers who must all agree. Nope. Not going to happen. Right, and there must be room for dissent, right? But of course, unanimity. Right? When I gave Gary the gun, it was not a slight. It was an attempt at unity. It was an act of chivalry. For those of you who don't know, I had a possession of mine. It was a replica of George Washington's gun. It was Memorial Day. The President of the United States, the next President of the United States, would potentially be decided that day. What better way to commemorate this with my defeat than to come and to give him a symbol of my respect? Because you know what? I'm glad I lost. Let me explain. The reason why I'm glad I lost is not because I didn't want to be the candidate. I wanted to be the candidate. I wanted to represent you. I thought that I would be the fiery champion of liberty that this party needed. I thought it could be me. But the reason why I'm glad I lost is because I learned some important lessons. Very important lessons. Setbacks in life, the silver linings in the clouds that you want to find are not easy. And I don't enjoy, for the rest of my life, being a presidential candidate, right? I don't enjoy the sort of public derision that comes with that because it's just so very easy to say, oh, Austin, you're a loser. But it is not the critic whose opinion counts. It's the man who gets into the arena. I refuse to live life on bleachers. I refuse. Politics is not a spectator sport. For some it is. But for me, in the presidential race, I knew full well that I could be driving straight off the edge of the cliff. But I knew that in defeat would come glory. There is glory in defeat. As long as you're not completely vanquished, which I knew that I would come out alive. But you learn some harsh lessons. I made some mistakes. I made some big mistakes during my presidential campaign. Steve Kerbell, I said something pretty nasty publicly about Steve. That was a mistake. All right, and I apologize. And Steve and I are now friends. And same with Karen. Such a mistake. Our fighting and infighting was our mutual destruction. Because in the end, we got the vouching for Hillary, which I will never forget. Some things you just are burned in your memory, you're imprinted in your mind. And the fear, the cajoling, the pushing for me to endorse Weld. Augustus Invictus, everybody know him? So he wrote a piece, let's just ignore all the controversial crap. He wrote a piece saying, after the convention was over, that he saw me in an interview, and obviously I was defeated and I was upset, red face. And I was, saying nice things about Gary after the convention was over. At that point, I didn't know what had happened with the gun, and I wasn't going to speculate. I wasn't going to point fingers if I didn't know. So I was trying to puff Gary up and say he's a good man and we've got to get behind him and all this. And Augustus was watching that. He said, you know, I always question, because I'm a 35-year-old, or 30, now I'm 36, but a 35-year-old, you know, nobody trying to become president of the United States. You know, he didn't know that I would be up for the task. A lot of people agreed with that analysis, that perhaps that I was not prepared for this. You know, being biased, I can assure you I was. But I'll tell you that what Augustus triangulated was that he doubted me because he didn't know if how I could take a big blow. And then he said he was sorry he ever doubted me in the first place. But I'll say this, that it does test your character. Yeah, 5 minutes in, do we get some questions? Sure. Okay, give me a little time for questions. I want to talk to these people. Okay. God, I had so much more to talk about too. Fuck it. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for considering me. Thank you for honoring me tonight by allowing me to come up here and speak to you. It is a tremendous honor. And thank you for your sacrifice for these common principles that we share. If you run for office, especially as a libertarian, run to win. But if you can't win, by God, you better spread libertarian ideas. You better look over your shoulder. If you can't win, you better bring an army of ninjas along in your wake. That's all. That's all. I want to have a conversation with you guys. Ask me anything. Yes, you should be able to have recreational nukes. Just kidding. Yes. Right. Right. Defeat is not failure unless you fail to learn from it. I have heard from some people that they've noticed a change in my demeanor. I am a changed man. You don't go through that experience and not, you know, bear some battle scars. Learn from it. I did. And I'm glad that I learned some respect from the people in this room. I know not everyone's a big fan, but I think that you believe that I'm earnest and sincere, even if you think I'm an idiot. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Where did the nickname Freedom Ninja come from?
Oh, God. So lore, you want to talk about liberty lore? Yes. The lore of liberty. Okay, so essentially I was in New York. I was working for Edward Fox, working for Judge Napolitano, and his producer, and I'm kind of a ninja when it comes to social media. And when I got there, he had like 10,000 fans, so I'm like, oh, boy, let me control this. And I turned it into a power. And there was people were jealous of the judge a little bit because he had a secret weapon, a little ninja, right? And so he walks in the green room, and the green room at Fox News is where all the like big, rich, names, celebrities, politicians, they're all hanging out in the green room, and there's gossip, and the makeup ladies are running around and making killing God and doing stuff. Well, she's not there anymore. So Nick Gillespie is there. And he's, being cool, doing his thing. And there's this publicist lady who knew exactly who I was. One of the big stars of the network walks into the green room and is like, just asking what he thought was an innocent question. And he goes, does anyone know who runs the judge's social networking pages? And the PR lady, this New York, Long Island lady, she goes, oh, it's the ninja. And everybody, all these like famous people and stuff like that, mind you, this is a gossip, center of New York, are all like, oh, there's a ninja here. Who's the ninja? Blah, blah, blah. She goes, it's the Freedom Ninja. It's Austin Petersen. And so I wasn't there when that happened, but I walked downstairs in the green room, and Nick Gillespie walks up to me, and he goes, so I hear you're the Freedom Ninja. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Yeah, sure. So don't call me the self-proclaimed Freedom Ninja. I earned that title from the bigwigs. So yeah, so that's where that came from. Yeah. Anybody else? Ask me anything. The first question. If you hate, where are my haters? Is there anybody here who really doesn't like me, who doesn't want me here? Thinks I don't belong here?
Where do you get your news?
I actually, I'm not going to pull Sarah Palin here and say, oh, I like to read everything. But no, I do actually read pretty much everything. I use aggregators news feed aggregators, New York Post, Washington Post, New York Times, LA Times. I read Daily News, Reddit, Libertarian. I'm scrolling there. I run a news agency, so I have to read absolutely everything. So I get up early in the morning and I read absolutely everything. I also take a little bit of time to spend 30 minutes on just a book of my choosing in order to keep myself sharp. But right now I'm writing my own book, so hope you guys will check it out when it's ready. Any other questions? Come on, there's got to be a hater right somewhere. Yes.
Hater.
You were on me quite a bit last year. I was interested in finding out how are you promoted? How do you promote yourself, or do you have an agent, and can we get more libertarians?
Good question. So I kind of fell sideways into the situation where I have now a booker, right, who's booking me some pretty big gigs. But I mean, I had nothing. I did all my own self-promotion, right? I was a perpetual marketer, marketing agent. I did everything myself. People were like, who wrote your Facebook or Twitter? I did everything. All my bookings, straight through me. That's only changed recently when I brought on a brilliant, talented staffer from the Gary Johnson campaign who is hardcore libertarian, and he's hooked me up with some big names and stuff like that. So it's very much an internal kind of deal. It's not like I'm not working with an agency in like New York or LA or something like that. It's all just like private and word of mouth. But getting more libertarians in that, it's going to require the libertarian, that individual effort to sort of put themselves above the media fray, right? We're competing right now as libertarians with the mainstream media, right? And we're also competing with the alt media, right? The alternative media. And much of that now is somewhat dominated. There's the left and the right, right? There's Huffington Post, there's Snopes, and there's all the left-wing media outlets, right? And they're engaging in confirmation bias. And then there's the right-wing alt media. The mainstream right media, of course, Fox, and then of course towards the right, we have things like, on our side, we have InfoWars. Aren't we lucky? Yeah, even Rand Paul, even Ron Paul, bow to the power of that news network. That's an issue we should probably talk about, but it's for another day. Getting yourself into these media outlets is no simple task, and it's more than just being a booker. It's you better be a star. You got to be a star, boy. You got to be a star, and that's the thing. If you ain't got it, and I've been a producer, media talent, stuff like that. Somebody's got star quality, you know it. Walk in the room, bam. Sometimes it's looks, sometimes it's smarts, sometimes it's a combination of the two. But if libertarians want to be stars, you got to be hot, smart, sexy, work out, take care of yourself, read, study. You got to be 10 times better than everyone else. Because if you're just some vapid blonde, they'll give you your own show, and you'll have 7 million views on Facebook, and you'll sound like an idiot, and then you'll get removed from a network. We've got to be 10 times better than our competition, right? It's comparative advantage. And for us in our media, we tend to be nerds, tend to be introverts. Sometimes we don't care about our personal appearance. Sometimes we take off our clothes on stage. And it may not look good, right? Yeah, this is advanced comms. But star quality is not the kind of thing that you can just can necessarily become cultivated overnight. Sometimes it's either got it or you don't. Yep. Yes, sir. One more question. You've already asked a question, so if nobody else. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question but a comment.
Sure.
I'm not a libertarian, I'm unaffiliated.
Sure.
Didn't know anything about you until last year at the debate. Came looking for some light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
And I have to say, in a year's time, I've seen a huge change in you. I had a nickname for you. You were my Bill Clinton. I had names for all of the candidates. And you're right, the looks and all that go for you, but this time, I'm listening to you and I can listen to you all night long because you speak intelligence. And that shines in maturity.
Thank you.
And I've seen a huge difference from
Yeah.
last year.
They call me sometimes a bit of a walking, talking bumper sticker, or you sound like a dollar store founding father. They call me sometimes. Those criticisms were absolutely warranted in many ways because, well, damn, I was running for president. I was kind of scared. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my god, I'm walking into the big boys. You should have seen me. I wish you guys could have seen it from my angle, where we're backstage before the Stossel debate, And Gary's like, what's going on? I have no idea. You know, he's like this, and McAfee's like, the fix is in, conspiracy theorizing. And I'm there with my like bullet points. I think we're going to be talking about zero-based budgeting and all this kind of stuff. Little did I know that it would be much more simple. I trusted myself more towards the end that I was capable, ready, and I could handle it, right, and serious, right? Whereas in the beginning, I felt more like I needed to convince you that I was capable and credible. And you know what my problem is, and I've always been accused of this, and it's always been my Achilles heel, is I'm a try-hard, right? Sometimes I try too hard. And I think sometimes there's a lesson to be learned in trusting yourself, going with your gut, and just letting it flow, right? Rather than trying to force it, that you've got to put it on something for somebody. I'm now fully confident in getting up here and, you know, opening up my heart to you and telling you my deepest, darkest thoughts and all these things. And I think that's a maturity question, of course. But, you know, still kind of ish. Love you guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Petersen, give him a big round of applause. We almost ran him out of here last year, scared the hell out of him, and I didn't think he was going to come this year when I invited him, but here he is. I have a quick announcement for you guys. We had 150 attendees tonight in an off-year convention. We don't have elections right now. We got 150 libertarians showed up here tonight to attend our convention and our banquet. On top of that, we had a team over here. Yell out your names.
Major League Libertarians.
Major League Libertarians live streamed our event tonight. We got over 4,000 views live. That said, we're going to close the night out. I'm just going to say thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. If you haven't donated yet, and I have to say this is obligatory, Karen threatened to stab me if I didn't say it one more time. She said she'd violate the NAP. If you haven't donated yet, throw $1 in an envelope, hand it to one of the party members, and we will make sure it gets put to good use. And with that said, I'm going to throw Arvin Bora up on the stage, and he is going to close out for us tonight.
I want to start with talking about something that Austin actually brought up in his last presentation, which is that we are in a war of ideas. And in a war of ideas, the most important thing that we can possibly have is the ideas. As in, people have to know what those ideas are before those ideas can fairly compete. There's a temptation that we all face, those of us who run for office, those of us who just talk to our friends, those of us who just talk to family members. There's a temptation to try to rephrase, to try to shrink our ideas, to try to make our ideas fit inside of the cult and the culture of the omnipotent state. We say, listen, they'll never go for abolishing all public schools, so let me see if we can work with them a little bit. Maybe they'll talk about charter schools or vouchers or just reducing one class in one school or just a small change we can imagine. We can say, let's see if we can make this small enough. And what a lot of you guys in this room have told me today, that you can't make small enough. No matter how small a change you propose, no matter how tiny that threat is, they will fight it tooth and nail. And that's not because they're stupid. It's because they're smart. They know what it looks like when a single domino falls, and they're going to do everything they can to fight against it. If you, as an individual, were to donate to the Libertarian Party, the amount of idea coverage that you can get from a single campaign, I don't even mean a huge presidential campaign, I mean a single state house campaign, city council campaign, a congressional campaign. If you said, listen, I don't want to run for this office, that's weird to me, but I'm willing to donate that amount. I'm going to donate the equivalent amount to the Libertarian Party. Two things would happen. First, you would go to jail. And second, Nick Sarwark, the current chair of the Libertarian Party, would probably go to jail with you.
because it is against the law to donate that level of money. If you run for Congress, you are bringing somewhere between $100,000 to $200,000 worth of free media coverage to the ideas of liberty. You run for state representative, $50,000 to $100,000, and that's the way that I measure that, by the way, is as conservatively as possible. That's like if you just bought that ad space. But we all know that we don't pay attention to ads nearly as closely as we pay attention to articles. So we're really saying, what would be the cost to bribe reporters in the Washington Post? Or a local small newspaper? What would be the cost to bribe them to cover these ideas of liberty? What would be the cost to get them to write an article about getting rid of the public schools, getting out of NATO, getting rid of the military-industrial complex, ending the drug war? What would it cost to make that happen? And it's a lot more than $50,000 to $100,000. The reason I bring this up is this. Even in a single forum, four libertarians who basically agree on most things, you're going to find some areas of disagreement. In this room, we're going to find all kinds of things that we're going to disagree on. But I can guarantee you that if you, as an individual, do these things, you're going to have somebody that you can vote for where you agree 100%. That person is you. And I know that a lot of folks have said, man, I'm not really a people person. I mean, honestly, neither am I. I'm much more happy antagonizing people than making fun of them. I've learned to act otherwise. I say, listen, I feel nervous about doing these things. Fine. I'm not a lawyer. You don't need to be. I'm not a political science major. Who cares? As long as you're over the age cutoff in your state, you can do this. And what is the this that I'm talking about? The this isn't to try to fit in and play their game. Because remember, this is a battle of ideas. This is one good idea being put against another, honestly, okay idea. The kind of welfare state that we have is not good, but it's better than things that have happened in the past. It's better than being run by the British monarchy. So honestly, we were talking about a better idea compared to an okay idea, maybe an obsolete idea at this point. And so what's going to happen when you run for office? You're all going to be given questionnaires from local newspapers and from different special interest groups. And I don't mean the evil oil companies, I just mean the Citizens for Safety in Colorado, things like that. And they're going to ask you a few questions. And in these few questions, even if you don't do any campaigning at all, although I do recommend that you do some campaigning, but even if you're saying, I can't do even a single second of campaigning, if you just fill out those questionnaires, let me tell you what's going to happen. Concerned citizens of Colorado will say something like, hey, did you hear about this crazy guy? He wants to get rid of the Department of Education. They're going to look that up. Did you hear about this guy? He says, let's pull out a native. They're going to look that up. And that's how we make the ideas spread. Ideas spread when they are stated boldly and clearly and comprehensively. And there's going to be the temptation. You're going to feel it. I know because I felt it the first time I ran for office. You guys see how blunt I am now. But when I first ran for office, I was trying to find a way to fit these libertarian ideas into their culture. But you can't fit libertarian ideas into a statist culture. If you do that, you're just burying the idea. You're changing the idea. We have good ideas. And these good ideas, by the way, are a lot more popular than you guys think. I know some of you guys have seen my post on Facebook where I talk about getting rid of the public schools, and you see, oh my God, look, ARP gets nothing but negativity, 40 or 100 negative comments per hour, for a period of a day. And I say, well, I don't want to do that. The part that you're not seeing is the other half, the silent approval. When I post something about getting rid of the public schools, yeah, I get a lot of flack. But I usually get 100 or 200 friend requests at the same time. And so there are two parts of it. There are people with your ideas that just want someone to say them. And that someone can be you. And so the thing that I'm going to encourage you all to do is, no matter how unready you feel, and no matter how unready you are, to find some public office that you can run for, where you can use that platform to spread the real, honest, true, and powerful libertarian ideas. Thank you.
Guys, I got nothing else. Bill, do you have anything else you want to do? I guess we're done for the night, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you in the morning.
Thank you.
Alan, thank you.